My name is Dr. April Murdaugh, and I'm here to talk to you, girl. Get your money mind right. I am a financial planner, fee-based financial planner, owner, and fiduciary of Woman to Woman Financial in Jacksonville, Florida. Like I said, I am a fee-based financial planner. I am the single mom of 4 children. I have lost everything 3 times. I was homeless in 2011 here in Jacksonville. I was divorced, I was widowed, I got my doctorate of education, became a college professor, didn't really like it, quit my job, and started my wealth management firm here for women. And my goal is to partner with professional women to help them build wealth so that they can live the lifestyle that they deserve. But today, ladies, we're going to talk about, girl, get your money mind right. You know, I want to share with you a couple of statistics first before we even get into the presentation. The first statistic is the lowest income households, y'all, the lowest income households in the U.S. on average, they spend $412 on lotto tickets. We're talking the lowest income, y'all. 40% of Americans cannot afford a $400 or find $400 to respond to an emergency. Let me also explain to you in terms of investments, right? Because everyone talks about investing. Well, did you know that the 401k did not exist until 1978? And you ever heard of the Roth IRA? Well, that didn't exist until 1998. That's right, 1998. So when we talk about money, we talk about getting your mind right when it comes to money. Do know that the vehicles that were available for you to utilize to start building wealth, that would help you to get your mind right in that direction, weren't even available when I was born. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a little bit over 50, not much. So you're telling me we didn't have these things available to us. So tell me, how, girls, how can we get our money mind right? Well, let's talk about it. So, everyone has their own philosophy when it comes to money habits. How do you formulate your money habits? Well, basically, what you hear, right? So what you may hear on the news, what you may hear your girlfriend say, what you may hear wealthy people say on YouTube. I'm a big YouTube junkie, and so I listen to that a lot. What we see, maybe what we have seen at home, how our parents have handled money, how our siblings, how our significant others handle money. What we see also kind of formulate or adds to how we formulate or do things with money. What we hear from people, like I said, and what we see people do. But let me explain to you, in the beginning, I just told you that as far as understanding or having vehicles to build wealth, we're less than 50 years old at this thing. So be gentle with yourself. We're new at this. And getting your money mind right is going to take some time. But I'm going to give you some things to do. So before I get into how, let's talk about what is a money mindset, right? What is a healthy money mind? Well, the first thing is one that avoids comparison. Looking at you, looking at someone else, saying, oh, they seem to have it well. They look like they have money. That's a mistake. Number 2, a mind that is open to learning and growing. By the mere fact that you're participating in this conference, that you're listening to what I'm saying, means that you're open to learning and growing. My introduction into this industry was a love for reading and a desire to get out of the financial situation that I was in. So being open-minded to learning and growing. One that is not focused just on today. So if you're talking about a money mindset or a healthy money mindset, you can't just be focused on right now, all right? Another thing is a money mindset or a good, healthy money mind is one that understands the value of time. You cannot be so, again, focused on today, not thinking about time. Time is so important. Actually, time, if you really look at it, You cannot get your time back. You can always make more money. So time is actually the most important thing that you have when it comes to developing a healthy money mind. So my saying is, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And that's the beginning of a healthy money mind. So what is true wealth then? True wealth, not superficial wealth, not wealth that looks like you have it, but true wealth is, it's generational. When you look at the Rockefellers, you look at the families where there are generations, the Kennedys, and generations of continual wealth where folks don't even have to work when they're born into that name, that family. That's true wealth. Legacy focus, not just thinking again of today, but thinking about two generations coming behind me. The decisions that I make today impact those. And again, time, right? Time is true wealth. People who have all the money in the world, who work their butts off, who do everything they need to do to earn more money, work hard, don't have time. But time, people who have time, that is the most valuable asset that you can have. You have freedom to do what you want to do, and you still have the money to do that. So time is extremely important, and that is true wealth. Assets that appreciate is true wealth. So when you're making decisions, thinking about buying things and investing in things that are going to be worth more later than they are today, focusing on compound interest. Thinking about things like the rule of 72, and how can I always say, how can I make my money make babies? And that's what I help my ladies do. And true wealth is wealth that you can keep, right? Again, not how much you make, but how much you keep. That is these are the cornerstones or the foundation of true wealth. So how do we begin this journey of getting our money mind right, embracing what true wealth really is? Again, not looking like it, but truly having it, being able to respond to emergencies, thinking about, well, if I'm having children or if my children are having children, what will their financial picture look like? And how can I focus on that? What can I do today to be able to prepare for the generations that are coming behind me? So the first thing really is stop looking at the external. I talk with a lot of women all of the time, and I've had one woman come in and say, Dr. April, you need to step your game up. You need to have this, and you should wear this, and you should look like this. Now, listen, I am not saying that having designer clothes and designer this is a bad thing at all. But do know that every time you're doing that, you're investing in someone else's wealth, not yours. So my focus when I work with my women and for myself is, how can I make sure that I am building true wealth that lasts for my generations coming behind me, as opposed to funding the other folks' generation, if you know what I mean. So stop looking at being and making it external. It really is bigger than that. The second thing is starting where you are, right? So I met a lady a long time ago. She couldn't save at all. She struggled. She said, every time I transfer my little $25 to savings, I wind up taking the money back. And I said, well, let's start with, don't take the whole 25 back. Leave $5 in there and have a goal every month. If nothing else, I'm going to leave $5 in there. And my goodness, this lady started saving and saving, and now she is an excellent saver, has built up wealth, is able to respond to emergencies and things like that when they happen. So please start where you are. If you start little baby steps, compound interest is very important. That's little pennies on top of pennies that compound daily for you, that build wealth, not big lumps and big hits all the time. So let's start where you are. Learn how to make your money make babies. Yes, make babies. If you're done and you're out of the baby making phase, I get it. I am so past that. My youngest is 20. But then I still want my money to make babies. So how can I figure that out? What do I need to do? Who do I need to connect with? What do I need to learn? Because every time I get a dollar, I need to figure out how I can make it make babies. Don't spend it all. We have some people that earn, and everything they earn, they spend. Case in point, I have a client. She is 28 years old. She walked in my office with $80,000 in the bank. Every time she got a bonus, she put it away. She saved it. She did not live at the very top of her income. Focus on the long term. Long term. I know it may seem sad. I'm not telling you to live poor. I'm not telling you to forego, going out and having great dinners and looking nice and getting your hair done and taking care of yourself. I am just saying focus on the long term. As part of your strategy, make sure you're putting something away for the future. And if it's not a lot, as long as you're doing it consistently, you will make a change. I don't know if anyone's ever read the book Atomic Habits. It's an excellent book, but it talks about a guy who wanted to work out. He went to the gym. He worked out. He didn't work out. He went in there for 5 minutes and left. And he did that for a week. And then he increased the time. And by the time I guess the year was up, he had lost a significant amount of weight. It takes time. Focus on the long term. The other thing is get an accountability partner, someone to help you that thinks like you, that is on the same journey, who wants to make their money make babies, who wants to leave a legacy and a generation for those coming behind them, who is doing their absolute best not to live at the top of their income, someone who has the same values. Get an accountability partner in your corner to support you as you get your money mind right. And I'll throw another one in there. Surround yourself with things to listen to, podcasts, read books, watch shows of people that you respect and you admire, and how they got their money mind right. Everyone praises Warren Buffett, and he's amazing, and he's done so many wonderful things. But did you know that Warren Buffett did not amass his billions of dollars until after the age of 50? But he also started young. So he had that on his side. He started little bit young and continued to save consistently. And that is what builds wealth. Long-term goals, long-term strategies, and working with someone, getting an accountability partner in your corner. So my process, a shameless plug, I help women and I focus on all of those things. I help women create and grow generational wealth. If you are not legacy minded, if you are not long term minded, if you want a quick fix in this thing, I am not the person to assist you. But I work with women in two different ways: situational and comprehensive. Folks who just want to come and start doing little things may not have the comprehensive mindset. And then the other folks who want a holistic planner to help them develop a plan that will create and grow generational wealth for them and for those coming up behind them. And so there's a different process I go through. The first step usually is really, and even if you're not with me, do this yourself. Be your own financial GYN. That's right. You have to be willing to look at where you are financially before you can start moving in a direction you want to move in. So it's like, I want to lose weight, right? But how much weight do I want to lose? I have to weigh myself to figure out how much weight I have on me. And then I can determine how much weight I want to lose based on if I want to look at a statistical chart, height weight chart, or whatever the case may be. But you cannot start any process without first taking a look at where you are. And so do your own examination if you need to. We do breast exams, they say self-examine, do your own, but take stock of where you are. And then you can look at things either working with someone, but I do things like tax strategies, making sure we're maximizing the strategies that are out there, making sure we're maximizing our investment plan, making sure we have a solid retirement plan, We lose a lot of money because of a health situation, a problem with a family member. Planning for those things, putting things in place, and working with someone who has the same values, like I said, to help you foster the healthy money mindset that you want to have. And listen, this is generational. I mean, there are all kinds of statistics. I've written a dissertation, I've done a lot of research on how statistically we are behind because no one taught us how to do these things. So, education and learning and being hungry to learn is going to be extremely important if you want to shift and change your money mind. You know, the way to wealth really, it doesn't start in what you do per se. It starts with how you think about what you do, because the way you think then formulates your behavior, and then your behavior, your mindset formulates what you say, and then you start behaving in a certain way, and you start then associating with people who have the same values, who are doing the same things that you want to do, so that you can grow the wealth and be healthy in your mind and in your finances. Listen, we can have all the money in the world, y'all. And if we don't have time, if we don't have a healthy mindset when we get the money so that we would keep the money, we will not be able to do it. So today, I'm just so honored to be able to share with you how we need to get our minds right when it comes to money. Girl, get your money, your healthy money mind right. That's my message to you. I'm here to help you if you want to start down that path of getting your mind right, of getting your money right, so that you can leave a legacy and live the life that you deserve. Thank you so much for your time. Again, my name is April Murdaugh. I am the owner, fee based fiduciary, a woman to woman financial, a wealth management firm that partners with women to help them grow, create and grow generational wealth. I'm signing off. Thank you so much. Bye.
Lots of hand claps. I love it. Hi, Dr. April. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Listen, I'm so very happy that we have you live to unpack this conversation around money. And I'm excited because of the fact, Dr. April, that we traditionally don't have a positive relationship with money. Um, we have a whole lot of healing to do as it relates to money because in our households, it was tight around the first of the month. And parents were silent; they were real tight. Like we felt that, right? And so growing up, we don't trust ourselves with money, right? We don't even know how to make good decisions because they didn't talk about it, right? Like,
Exactly.
um, and I'm gonna ask these questions that have been put in the Q&A. But first, a question that I'd like to get your perspective on is so Dr. April, I was in the finance industry. Okay, I was on the corporate loan side structuring deals, and um, in my opinion, lottery ticket folk did better marketing at gas stations around the corner than banks did. Literally, the banks didn't market to me. They didn't market to my cousins. They didn't market to my classmates. But lottery folks did. Alcohol people did. You know what I'm saying? Like fire. What is that? The alcohol people did, right? And that's not
Hmm.
my fault. That's not my cousin's fault. That's not the class clown's fault, right? They
Yeah.
intentionally don't educate us with money, but unfortunately, we feel shame in these conversations as if it's our fault, and I don't think it's our fault. We feel bad that we don't know because we assume that everybody else knows, and they don't know, but it's not our fault, right? And so, and again, this is I'm talking about my own trauma. I get
Mhm.
angry. And I got a whole lot of knowledge I'm going to give around finance, but I'm intentionally starting with other things first because it's not fair. The system's not fair, right? And so when I hear um, stories about what people like Rockefeller did and what people like Warren Buffett did, I have on the inside, right, I get stirred there too, because I still don't hear stories about Black people, right, who are able to do it, as if it's our fault. Because what I know is 80% of all investors today are white men. They don't look like me. What I know is, Asian people, their median household income is $101,000. That's the median income. White people, it's $80,000. That's the median income, right? Like Hispanic people, it's $59,000. That's the median income. You got to go all the way down lower than all of them for Black people. And then when I talk about Black women, we make 24 Black women entrepreneurs. We make $24,000 per year. And so on the inside, I get stirred because I'm like, well, where is the money gonna come from? It's not our fault, Like I don't think people give context to that piece. So I'm gonna bring these stories up from the Q&A. But a question I have for you is, do you, and however you want to answer this question, and this is, I'd love to hear this perspective for myself too. Do you think that our lack today, right, is because we don't know enough, because we haven't tried hard enough, because we need to do better about grabbing resources, because somebody, if we had to break down what the problem really is, like, what would you say those problems are? Because I think there are a whole lot of people, right, who still need healing in this area, and without starting there, I think their shame will hold them from digesting the answers you give to some of these other questions.
I agree with you. And, I think I know for a fact it is because, first of all, there are not too many people in the industry that look like me. So I am an educator. The industry is 1.8% African American, and even less than that are women. And so the first job of a fiduciary is to educate, right? Well, there's no one going in our communities talking to us. I'll be honest with you. I've been in this industry for over 10 years, and I am told time and time again there's no money in the Black community. Why market to the Black community? They don't have it. I grew up in the projects of Brooklyn, okay? And I remember when Ice Cube came out with this album called Death Certificate. And on the album, he talked about how in our neighborhoods we saw the ads for the beer and the liquor and the Coke 45. But when I went just a little further north in Brooklyn, where white folks live, they had Beck's, they had Heineken. There were no cigarette ads because the schools wouldn't have it in their communities. So generationally, we have been put in a box. We have not been exposed to how to do this. That's why in my presentation, I say give yourself grace because we didn't come out knowing this stuff. We're actually just now the fastest growing first generation of millionaires. But we've been in this country for over 400 years. They don't market financial education and investing to Black folks. They're not going to, you guys. So for me, it is a movement. It is a movement, especially educating Black women, because right now we hold the highest degrees. We make more money than our male counterparts. And actually, we live longer. 80% of women die single. Because of that, we have to make sure that we have the resources to live throughout those various seasons in our lives, especially alone. So it is not our fault. It is not like we need to do better. We need to grab more resources. There's only one of me. Okay. So it's not. I'm trying to do the best I can. The industry is so tough that you got to make a living or you got to educate. And the ones that come into this industry, they're just kind of focused on, I got to make a living, I got to make commissions, I got to do this. And it's hard. So I say, no, it is not our fault. Take that off. One of the things I also tell my ladies is that this is a non judgmental environment. I told you I lost everything 3 times in my life. 3 times. I lived in a shelter here in Jacksonville a little over 10 years ago. And at that time, I had a master's degree. Okay. So I lost a job. I didn't have any savings. I had to figure it out with 3 kids at that time. So no judgment here. You come in here, you got a few dollars, you don't have millions of dollars to invest. My point is, are you willing? What's your mind like now? Let's start now building wealth, but no judgment at all. So take the shame, the forgiveness, the disappointment, throw it away because it's not welcome here. And we go through that in here. Actually, I feel like it's more therapy when women come to see me than it is actually financial planning. Once we get through the head trash and the trauma that we have all experienced, I'm still dealing with my own trauma. I'm still single 15 years. I just finished putting kids through college on one income, running a business. So I get it. But now it's on my website. I have this saying, when you know better, like Maya says, now we do better, right? So I can't get everywhere. Platforms like this allow me the opportunity to share the knowledge in little bits and pieces. But now we start going on down the path to figure out how we can do better for ourselves first and heal that, and then the generations that are coming behind us.
Woo! You are a pillar of our community. Listen, like you are the story that we now know. 3 times you lost everything, and you are on this hill, understanding it as cold as you do, teaching other people in your lifetime. I am happy to be able to say your names now in rooms that I'm in because there's not a plentiful list, right, of us, but I got you, sis. So
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so happy you cemented that. Now let's get into the questions. I'm gonna add extra 5 minutes on this, y'all, so we get through these questions. Okay. I might not be able to get through all of them, but okay, I'm gonna use those that have been voted the most. That have been voted the most.
Okay.
This one is coming from Tisupura, and she says, book or podcast recommendations for money growth mindsets.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So yeah, I'm a big reader. I threw some books in the chat, but one is Atomic Habits. I read that every quarter. Um, Actually, Think and Grow Rich. I know that's it's very, very old book, but it's really key. If we want practical habits, like practical things you need to do, Smart Women Finish Rich. I give this to all of my ladies. Smart Women Finish Rich. It gives you details on how to organize your financial life. So I think that is extremely important. Now, y'all gotta forgive me. I'm a bit of a nerd, okay? So I listen to podcasts like from American College on there. I love therapy for Black girls because they're therapists that come on to help me deal with some of that childhood trauma foolishness that I deal with. There's also a podcast called Secrets of Wealthy Women by the Wall Street Journal. So I like hearing about women who were down like me and got up and figured out how to get up. Now, I would tell you the majority of them are white sisters, but they do have some really good Black women on there as well who founded companies. Um, so and Redefining Wealth is another podcast by Patrice Washington. I like listening to her podcast. Just helps me to get my mind right when it comes to money. So any of those things are really good books and podcasts I would recommend.
So good. So good. And the next question is coming from Sequoia, and she asks, any advice on investment planning for entrepreneurs? Any good companies for insurance, 401k, etc.?
Yeah, so entrepreneurs are a strange breed, right? Because we're like we hunt and we kill what we eat, right? But we got to eat it when we kill it. It's really hard to like leave a little bit back, right? So, and I get it, right? Especially in the beginning years of entrepreneurship. But as far as investing is concerned, they have accounts like SEP IRAs that allow you to invest monthly, so you can do that kind of investing. So a SEP IRA or solo 401k, I established those for my business owners. In that type of product, you have a Roth, which is the ability to put your money in and the money grows. It's tax free. So when you take it out, you don't pay taxes. So a solo 401k, a SEP IRA, if you have employees, and things for business business on product that has some things like long-term care riders, disability riders, and things like that as an entrepreneur would be good to have, because some of them allow you to take lump sums of cash if you suffer a medical illness. And I will tell you, the number one reason for bankruptcy is a medical situation. So having something that either has those type of disability long-term care riders on it, or having a standalone policy would make sense. As far as companies are concerned, look at their ratings: AM Best, AAA companies. I like mutual insurance companies because you get the dividends, and you, the policy holder, owns the company. So you have shares and a stake in the company. So those would be some of the things that entrepreneurs could start out with.
Asha, this is so good. And you all, this is all the reason why. This is all the reason why you should follow Dr. April Murdaugh. You should literally get on her calendar and be her client. This is home team right here. This is home team right here. And we already got the elephant out of the room at the beginning. Ain't no shame in this. This safe ground. Get that, what you call it, that head trash out your head.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dope. One more question, 60 seconds. Okay. And then we
have
to
I know.
I'm gonna put up Wendy's question. I think it's an amazing question. She says, of course, we all know that a recession is on our heels. Any recommendations on ways we can increase income in this era?
You know, it's funny. I was having a conversation about someone like yesterday. Side hustle. I mean, that's just the way you're gonna have to do. So, what do you like doing? What kind of side hustle can you do to create some income for yourself, additional income for yourself? You know, as a financial advisor, I should say things like invest, right? But we know the market is going to do what it's going to do. I would say do something additional to earn money. And then, even before then, look at where your money is going. One of the things I do is have my clients bring in their bank statements, because they say they don't make money, but then we know that, Starbucks and McDonald's has gotten the money. So we see where the money is actually going. And if there is truly an income problem, then we talk about what kind of side hustles can you do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with an Uber. Y'all, I did it. I drove Lyft. I did what I had to do to make up the rear if that was the case. So I would say this is the environment of what they call the gig economy now. So what can you do to earn additional income for yourself that you like to do that won't pull you away from what you're doing? That would be my suggestion.
Thank you so much, Dr. April. We gotta go, but I see us in the chat. Can you tell them what your IG is so they can follow you?
Yes, it's Woman to Woman Financial is my company IG, and Dr. April Murdaugh is my other IG, my personal. You can follow me on either one of those platforms. And on Facebook, it's Woman to Woman Financial as well, and Dr. April Murdaugh is on Facebook. And LinkedIn is Dr. April Murdaugh, or April Murdaugh, excuse me.
Beautiful. Yeah, y'all become her client, safe space, right? This is what we need. And she is the legend we can talk about. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all at the DJ set. Dr. Murdaugh, you are incredible. I am so happy to be connected, sis.
Thank
and I
you.
look forward to more partnerships. Thank you,
Awesome.
Mama.
All right.
All right, y'all. I'll see y'all on the other side. Remember to hit the poll, give the rating so that we can give feedback to all speakers. Building leaders and accepting zero excuses is what Blaze stands for. I will see y'all at the DJ set. Peace.